Welcome to this video. I am very excited that you're here. I am going to be showing you how to sew a long skirt, and it's very easy. It's very simple. Sewing is very easy. Don't let anybody discourage you. I learned how to sew in my adult years. I did not grow up sewing. Women have been sewing for thousands of years. It's only in the last maybe 100 years that it's been discouraged, but every woman is a good sewer. It just needs to be ignited. And sewing is very simple. It's not complicated. It's very easy. Just have to learn a couple techniques and basic things and take a couple lessons and you're off. So right here in front of you is a pattern. You see the skirt, and you also see the waistband. So those are patterns, and you want to go out and get tracing paper or pattern paper. What I have right here, it's called Pattern Ease. And what I did is I took an old skirt or a dress, and I just traced my skirt. And because I wanted to use my own measurements and my own, size. I'm about an 8'10". And I leave about a quarter or a half an inch of seam allowance in the pattern. So what you're seeing right there is a pattern, but it's a little bigger because I leave about a half an inch in order just to sew, so I can have a little bit of room to sew. So you want to make your pattern, you want to trace it, cut it out, but leave about a half an inch, a quarter of an inch to sew. That's called your seam allowance. So in your sewing supplies, it's good to have a tape measure, and my measurements are 16 inches at the top. Again, I'm about an 8'10", and about 36 inches long. Here is the machine that I use. It's a Baby Lock Grace. That's my pattern. I keep my patterns in just a little Ziploc bag. There is a tape measure, my seam ripper, my pins, and my scissors. Very nice pair of scissors there. And also little clips. You can use the pins or the clips while you sew to hold the fabric together. I'll be using number 20 on this machine, which is an overlock stitch, and also number 1, which is a running stitch. Again, your pattern is one of your most valuable things in sewing. You always go back to that. Again, I keep my patterns in just a little basic Ziploc bag, and I pull it out when I just want to make another garment. If I want to make a skirt, or even if I have a dress pattern, I'll just pull it out and make a dress or whatever. So yeah, keep your patterns, and they're very valuable. So the second thing you're going to make is your band, and you're only going to need one pattern for the band. So my band is about 8 inches long. And it's 4 inches wide. Amazingly enough, this is all you need to make an actual skirt band. What that pattern is it's half the size of the width of the front of your skirt. So it's half the size. So the width for my pattern of the skirt was 16 inches. So you just take half of that. The first thing you want to do is fold your fabric in half. Then you want to check the grain line. So you want to take the fabric and you want to pull it. You want to almost you want to stretch it, because this is going to go around your body. You want it to stretch. So anything that's going around your body, you want to make sure there's a stretch in that. The other way will be taut. So if you stretch it the other way, it's going to be taut. There's no stretch in that. So you want to make sure the stretch is going horizontal around your body. So you want to fold it where the stretch is going to go around your body horizontally. You want to make sure you do that before you start cutting. Then you want to put your pattern on the folded fabric. And again, you're putting your pattern in the right way that it's going to have a stretch to it. So when you sit down, your fabric is going to naturally stretch and it's not going to be taut. So you want to double check that again before you start cutting. So what you see right there is the skirt pattern and also the waistband. So I'm zooming in here and I placed the band pattern right on the fold. And if you see on the pattern, I wrote place on fold right at the edge there. So I can remember when I go back and I pull it out again, I always place that on the fold. So then I'm going to be able to get one band for the front. So when I cut that out, I'll be able to have one band because it's on the fold. And so when you cut it, you're going to open it up and it'll be the front band section of your skirt. So again, you want to place that band, that pattern band on the fold. Then you want to pin down your pattern onto the fabric so when you cut it out, it's not going to move around. And you want to pin down your band pattern onto the folded side of the fabric. Again, don't forget to place it on the fold. So you want to cut that out. Then you take out that cut out piece and you place it again on the fold so you can make your second band. So you want to pin it down, you place it, and you cut that out. So you want to have two bands in total, but you only have one pattern. And just a little tip, I like to write on my pattern. I wrote place on fold so I can remember for the next time. And then right in the center, I don't know if you see it, it says cut to. So I like to put little instructional things on my pattern. So for the future, I can just say, oh yeah, that's what I do. I place on fold and I cut to. So that's what it visually looks like after you cut it out on your fabric. So that's what your bands look like when you open them up. That's the front band and the back band, and that's what it looks like. So now that you're done cutting your bands out, what you want to do is you have your pattern uh, pinned to the fabric, and you want to cut out your skirt pattern. Put the seam allowance in the pattern in the band and also the skirt pattern, but you can add the seam allowance if you don't have it in your pattern just before you cut it out. You could just put it right there. You can use tailor chalk and just trace around it to put that seam allowance in, or you can just cut the pattern out if it's already in the pattern. So once you cut out your skirt, that's what it's going to look like visually, the skirt and the band. So there it is. That is the front side and the back side of your skirt, and that is the band to the right side, the two pieces, the front and the back. So first I start out with my two band pieces. I put them together, and in sewing you always sew right sides together, but with this knit fabric it doesn't matter. But it's something that's very basic. You always sew right sides together. After you place the two bands together, you pin it at the very end and leave about an inch. And you want to just do a running stitch, just one running stitch down. just to put the two pieces together. So I'm holding my phone and I'm sewing at the same time, so I'm going to try to do this. So basically you put you just put a running stitch down just to hold and secure the two pieces together, and that's roughly about 1/4 of an inch. Then you want to do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to pin it and you just want to do a basic running stitch down. So I'm lifting it up and this is what it looks like. It's just a band that has two running stitches put in. The next thing you want to do is you want to pin your two sides of your skirt together, the front and the back. You want to pin it on the left and the right side. Again, you always want to pin that you're pinning the right sides of the skirt together. You sew and you pin right sides together. Then you want to take it up to your sewing machine and use you can use an overlock stitch, which is 20, and that's almost like a serging stitch. That's going to hold your fabric together and tightly secure it. So I took out the pins. I apologize, so you don't see those pins, but you just run down the side of the skirt with that overlock stitch. I actually use a serger when I sew, but with this video, I decided just to use the sewing machine. The serger is the same thing, but it's a little different. But that's basically like a serged stitch, and you're just going to go down the side, go all the way down to the bottom. So that's the overlock stitch. Then you just want to cut out the little edges right there, and kind of soften that seam a little bit. So then you want to do the same thing on the other side. Just use that overlock stitch and go all the way down to the very bottom of the skirt, top to bottom. And again, you just want to trim off the edges to make a nice feel to the skirt and soften the edges. So this is what the side seams are going to look like. They're a very nice look, very secure. So just to review what we just did an overlock stitch on the left and the right side of the skirt, right sides together, sewing down. Now we have our band and our skirt, and the next step is to put them together. For video purposes, I just clipped up the skirt on a hanger so I can have a good, I can show you guys what I do. Now, that is the band. I'm showing you both sides of the band. What I do is I just see the right side of that band? I drop it right in the skirt, right there. It's very easy. Drop it right in. I always say, right people belong together, right sides belong together. I have a little saying so I can remember, but so you just drop it right in the skirt. The right side goes to the right side of the skirt. You see that? That's the right side of the skirt, right there. And I drop it right in. So I drop that band right in the skirt and I clip everything together. So the band is inside the skirt, right sides together. You can pin or clip the tops together. You just drop it right in there and you pin it or you clip it all together, right sides together. Again, you want to drop it right in there, right sides together, pin it, clip it, whatever's easier. Again, you just drop it right in there and you clip the tops together. It's very simple. The next thing you want to do is just take it over to the sewing machine and lay it right on that sewing machine. And you want to just do a running stitch all the way around where you put the clips in or the pins in. You just want to do a running stitch all the way around. And as you can see, everything is secure. It's all ready to go. Just do that running stitch. So I took out some of the clip, but you want to continue all the way around with that straight stitch. Just make sure the seams are together. The side seams are together. Just go all the way around. I apologize, I'm sewing with my one hand, so I'm trying to get the video in. But you want to go around again twice. You want to go around 2 times just to secure that stitch. And when you're done sewing the top of the skirt to the band, that's what it's going to look like. You're going to see the inside of the band there. and I'm just showing you the right side of the skirt. That's gorgeous, right? So that's the inside of the band, and I'll show you what to do next. Oh, and if you have like a little hole, sometimes you'll get that. Just go back to the machine and fix it with a running stitch. So now you have a nice top of the skirt to the band. It's all sewn together. And what you want to do is you want to get your pins and you want to take the top of the band, fold it one time, just once, and lay it down over where you just stitched it together. So just a little bit over top, maybe a little bit below that. Just lay it down and pin it together. I would use pins in this situation. Again, I'm holding my phone here trying to show you. So you want to do the same thing all the way around, fold it once, and pin it down to make your band. Then you want to go back to your machine, and where you folded it down and pinned it, you would just want to sew right on top, right there. You can use a basic straight stitch, running stitch. And you want to keep on going all the way around till you get back to your starting point. And then I would actually do that twice just to secure the entire skirt. So I sew around twice. So you just want to go all the way around. Again, I'm holding a phone while I'm sewing, so trying my best here, but yeah, you want to go around twice just to secure the stitch. And we're just about coming to the end. Okay, we got the band on. Now we're going to look at the bottom of the skirt. We just want to do a basic hem. It's very simple, just a basic hem to finish up the skirt. Okay, so I brought the skirt back to the sewing machine, and it's a basic hem. So all you're going to do is you're going to go to the bottom of the skirt. You're going to lift it. You're going to fold it once. Basic hem. Fold it once. And then fold it again, right there. And then you want to sew right where my pointer finger is. You see that? And where my thumb is right there. That's where you want to sew for the hem. So you just put pins down and you pin all the way around the skirt. And you want to pin upward. So the skirt is inside out and you just want to pin upward and you want to put it to that sewing machine, and you just want to sew a straight stitch. And I always go around twice again because I like to secure my stitch. So just go around twice. Take that pin out and sew right on that line, or right below the line. You see how the skirt's inside out? So now you're making a nice hem at the bottom. And there it is. There is the beautiful, seamless, comfortable skirt that you all can make. It's very simple, very elegant, very beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the video. And here is an example of the skirt. It is that is the same skirt but in the color black. It is a very seamless, very comfortable skirt. That is not me. That is someone else, but she has several of these skirts, and it's extremely comfortable. You can wear it with you can wear it going out. You can wear it staying in the house. It's very seamless. And again, it's made with a knit fabric, which is 95% cotton, 5% spandex that I used. It's very breathable, and but if you want to use other types of fabric, that's up to you. I prefer the cotton blend. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.